All right, what's up, guys? Quick intro to the video. You guys saw this video yesterday, and then it was gone. I pulled it down, I deleted it, and I shouldn't have done that. To be honest, I shouldn't have posted this video because, not because I don't care about my opinions. I do, and I still hold the same opinion. Soccer to me is an easy sport, but I don't know, man. The last couple of months to weeks to this week, I felt like more and more when I go back and watch videos, the person I see on screen isn't who I am. I think I've been very, very sensitive to online comments and perception of who I am recently, and maybe making a bigger deal out of things than really they need to be. But I just didn't like the way I looked. Like I said, I shouldn't have posted it on this channel or maybe at all, and didn't have anything to do with fighting or anything like that. But just because I didn't like it, and just because you guys didn't like it, that's another big point. Like, obviously, no one took well to that opinion, but that doesn't mean that I get to just hide it. That doesn't mean that I get to just go, oh, I didn't say it, or oh, it's gone. No, that's not how this works. And I apologize for last night in just a fit of, I don't know, frustration, just pulling the video down. It's not the right way to go about things, and I don't get to just do that. Like I said, if it was anybody other than me, then I probably would point the finger. So here's the full video. Not proud of the way I look in the video, not proud of the reasons that I made the video. Just for like the first time in my online career trying to capitalize on some sort of online bait. Didn't feel right, still doesn't, but I said it, I put it on camera, and I posted it. I don't get to just pull stuff down when I do that. And I will go and try my hand at the sport. I have no problems with that. Like I said, I will stand on what I think, but I shouldn't have taken this video down because, like I said, just because I don't like the way I look, just because you guys don't like the opinions, doesn't mean I get to just take a coward's way out. Sorry about that, and I know you guys won't, but I hope you enjoy the video. All right, so we're back, and today's video is a little different, but you guys know me. I am Mr. Wade Concept, the we are debating everything concept. I debate a lot. I give my opinions on things, and I'm willing to stand by said things. I've done this since you guys have been introduced to me, since day one, and I'm going to continue doing that. But yesterday, I did that in a way that I didn't even realize was going to go absolutely nuclear. Yesterday, I said the phrase that I'm going to stand by in the topic of today's video, that soccer is one of the easiest sports to play. The breakdown, let's go. All right, so yesterday I was out on the links playing one of the tougher sports, golf, but I came across a tweet from Happy Punch, shout out to them, from Dana White talking about how much he can't stand soccer. I'm going to show you the video and then talk about what I said after, because I don't necessarily agree with his points here.
Can't stand soccer. I think that it's the least talented sport on earth. There's a reason 3-year-olds can play soccer, okay? Run around and kick a ball. Yeah, Landsberg said, you wouldn't say that if you were Brazil. I said, dude, I say this in every country. When you're playing a game where the net is this big and the score is 3-1, are you shitting me right now? You know how untalented you have to be to score 3 points when the net is this big? Now in hockey, you have guys on skates, right? With crooked sticks where they have to hit a puck into a net that's the same size as the goalie. Okay? That's a sport that the score should be 3-1.
So, okay, I don't agree with Dana White on what he's talking about here with like the least talented sport on earth. That's not my argument, right? Like, I can concede that at the highest level of soccer or any sport, you have to be a 1% athlete in the highest level of skill and talent for your sport to be there. I'm not saying that those things don't require skill, athleticism, or talent. I'll never say that. This is actually what I said on Twitter. I've said for a while that soccer is one of the easiest sports to play. Now, that doesn't mean at the top of the sport that it's easy at all. It's not. At world level, you're a 1% athlete. Not everyone can play it at that level, of course, but I do agree that it's one of the easier sports to learn and play. That was the original point. Now, granted, I did go on in the comments to make some comparisons. We'll get to that in a second, but that's the original point that got people all in a tizzy. Mainly the UK audience base, probably the same audience base that's watching this video, because when you attack soccer to people in the UK, Spain, Europe, anywhere else in the world, it's like attacking Jesus Christ. To me, I have a couple of points as to why I think it's one of the easier sports to play. Again, not at the highest level, but I think it's very easy to pick up and play, right? You get a ball, you kick it around, you figure out how to get skillful at kicking it around by essentially training with yourself or against a wall or just kicking it back and forth with your friends, family, whatever. You're going to get better at that skill with just the ball. It's very easy and simple to pick up, play the sport, get better at it with just using that specific thing and doing it by yourself. I'm not sure that's why a lot of the world plays it. I'm sure it goes back to British colonialism and Spanish conquest, but regardless, it does make the sport easier to gain a base level entry into just based on the fact that you need a ball and to learn how to kick. Another reason I think this is one of the easier sports to play is because the general basis of the game is the same for every player. Now, granted, that means that every player has to be competent at that thing, but it is the one thing that makes the sport what it is, and that's kicking the ball. And people got upset again when I said this, but I'm standing on business when everyone on the field has the same general job, which is to be able to kick the ball up the field and score, or possess the ball up the field and score, which is to be able to kick the ball, right? Possess it by kicking. That is the generality that I was referring to. The skill of kicking. That makes, at least in the outfield, on some level, every position, at least in some way, similar. Meaning, if you have that skill to be able to possess and pass and kick the ball, then you can, at an entry level, play a lot of different positions in soccer. Now, granted, that skill is a tough one to master, but I'm not talking about mastering it. I'm talking about being adequate enough to play the game. Now, granted, kicking the ball, possessing the ball, passing the ball is a skill that is unique and tough to master. At probably the highest level, it's one of the tougher things to be able to be a highest level soccer player. I didn't say this was mastery of the sport. I said to play the sport. And to play the sport, even at a low level, doesn't take the mastery of kicking the ball around or passing the ball around or controlling the ball. It takes a level of that, but not the mastery of it. And yes, I understand that all positions have different jobs, and people act like I've never seen a soccer game or I can't name the positions like a striker, center forward, right wing, left wing, center back, center attacking mid, center defensive mid, center mid, left wing back, center back, right wing back, and goalie. But shout out to FIFA for my knowledge. I get they all are different positions. They all have different jobs. Like your backs are going to be your last line of defense for the other team strikers. You're going to have to defend, use your body, steal the ball, get it back, possess it, and go back to your mids and offensive players, while also setting and assisting on the back line, making sure you can try to trap offensive players with your play and get them offside. I get all that. Your midfielders play a little bit of both offense and defense. They're assisting up front. They're also sagging back to help defenders. I get that. Your forwards and strikers are pretty much in that front field play. They're going to have the ball at their feet, looking to set up offense and potentially score the ball. I get that. Your goalie is commanding the defense, setting formations and running tactics on offense and defense, protecting obviously the main goal and having to do so while defending balls coming at his face, at a high rate of speed. I get all that. The point I'm trying to make, again, I think people take it as me saying that soccer is easy at the highest level, which is not true. I've never said that. But it is easier, in my opinion, to pick up and play the sport than many other sports, and to play it at a lower level than many other sports. I would put it right there with basketball as a sport that's a pick up and easy play sport. Now, basketball requires a different level of athleticism, in my opinion, because I think basketball athletes are some of the best on earth. Number 2 would be American football. Argue with me all you want. But this was the opinion that got people frustrated. And the fact that I said American football is a harder sport to play, which in my opinion it is. You have 11 different positions on the field that, unlike soccer, don't have one thing in common, where you have to be able to play the ball through your feet. In soccer, you can play the ball in different positions, offense and defense, really 22 different positions, all of them unique to themselves, meaning everyone in their own right is a specialist and has that one specific skill that allows them to be on the field. That, in my opinion, playing on a team of those specific specialists who everyone does have a different skill and is required to play that team sport, is the more difficult sport to me. The quarterback position is so unique. It is the hardest position in all of sports. You are the offensive commander. You are throwing the football. And most people in the UK talk about Americans being big stiffs that can't play their sport because of the lack of coordination, and then you throw them a football and watch them try to throw it back, and it looks like they're unraveling a wet pasta noodle. So we can both play that game. And also, people have said that American football, or American sports in general, are just athletic sports that don't rely on any sort of tactics or skill or mental capabilities, when, again, American football is one of the more complicated sports in the world, having 200 plus plays on a given play and then 200 plus more behind those to adjust to based on what in real time the defense offers the offense and vice versa. I know every sport has decision making at the highest level in split seconds. But football, being a sport that's only played in 7 to 8 seconds at a time, means that decision making and that intensity goes even further through the roof. You have to be on point for every single second. And then in my opinion, there's an embellishment of what soccer actually is for 90 minutes, where I see people saying you have to sprint for 90 minutes straight, when everyone knows that's not the case, and not any player on the pitch is sprinting full speed for 90 minutes. Sure, you're moving for 90 minutes, and that is taxing on the body. It's not easy at any rate at the highest level, but physical fitness can be trained. And even someone that doesn't play soccer, that does train to be moving at that same rate for 90 minutes, would already have that portion of the sport covered. One of the hardest things to do in the sport can be trained without even having the sport involved. If one of the harder aspects of your sport can be trained without the sport even being involved, I don't attribute that to the level of difficulty of the sport. And by the way, you can tell when the UK gets a little hot under the collar, because these opinions got people coming at me personally, talking about they want to break my legs and Brexit tackle me. And I found that part interesting. It wasn't just one person saying this. There were a lot of people, because of my opinion, saying, oh, if it's so easy, come and get Brexit tackled. So I went, okay, what is a Brexit tackle? And from my research, it says that a Brexit tackle in football is where one goes in for a tackle deliberately to shit on their opponent, typically done to take an opposing player out of the match. Done by any means, even if the player committing the Brexit tackle must receive a red card. And again, I know this isn't indicative of the entire sport, but if that is what at a lower level is happening, it doesn't seem very skillful to tackle someone deliberately to injure them. I thought, again, the most skillful and tactical sport in the world would have better skills and tactics, if that's what you're trying to show me. If that's what you want me to come and experience because this opinion got you a little hot under the collar, I'm trying to prove that the sport is easy to play. And that type of tackle, while, again, probably not happening at the highest level, if it's a staple in the sport, if it's something that the lower levels do, like what was brought up to me, a Sunday league game, if that's part of the game at that level, then it doesn't seem very skillful. It doesn't take a lot of skill to do, which would mean that it would be a little bit of an easier sport to play if I can just go in and deliberately injure people. And like I said, I pretty much sent the entire UK into a frenzy with this tweet. It has, as we're sitting here now, 8.8 million views. And people looked at me and went, oh, you're engagement farming. But I don't know that there's any instance where I've provided an opinion that I'm not willing to stand by. And I'm going to do that once again here. People were challenging me to play soccer. Wade, go play soccer. Try it, big man, try it. And I'm willing to do that. The answer is yes. I will come and play soccer. And this is kind of the point of the video. I'm not really sure how to set this up. I don't know who it is I need to contact, how to get it done. I'm going to put it on this channel because, like I said, like I will say here, if I'm willing to provide an opinion on the difficulty of a sport or anything else, I'm willing to stand by that opinion in whatever way that means. And in this specific case, if that means going and trying it for myself, I'm down. Let's do it. Now, again, I don't know what position I'll be in. I would assume, because I already have the use of my hands, that I'll play goalie, but I've seen a lot of people say that they want me to play the center back or somewhere on the defensive side. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't think striker would fit me best, but maybe not up to me. I don't know. You guys let me know, but I am down. I will fly to the UK. I will play in a match. I will play in a challenge. I will do something. We'll get it on video. I'll be coming into it with a disadvantage, being already 31 years old. But when I am more successful than you guys thought I would be, I expect a full apology. And if I'm not, and it goes terribly for me, then I'll make sure that I give credit where it's due. And I know that everyone looks at this opinion and says, oh, look at the big, dumb, ignorant American that just plays this sport where guys just run into each other like American football does. But to those in the UK that don't like this opinion that I had and don't like me saying that soccer's easy, yes, I said soccer because that's the name of the sport. Don't worry, fill yourself up a pint and crack open a can of those beans that you can put on toast for breakfast because that sounds delicious, and sit back, relax, because I'm willing to prove what I say. Where do I go? How do we get this done? When, where, how? I don't have those answers, but I'm down. Let me know. When that happens, guess we'll find out.